They say our phones are listening devices. They're always connected to the internet, storing personal data and occasionally giving us useful information based on search algorithms. Many people believe that companies like Apple are harvesting their data for profit. Others believe their phones are actively being monitored by government agencies. Some even claim their phones are haunted. These theories all sound crazy until you experience things like this. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to cover a Reddit post from user C-Sprite. He told a horror story about an incident that happened to him when he was younger. Let's jump in. This happened when I was about 18 years old and lived at home. I had a fairly low-end iPhone from AT&T, and it was probably running iOS 6 or 7. At the time, I had a decent-sized collection of Vocaloid music downloaded to it. Vocaloid music is produced by stacking synthesized vocals atop MIDI instrument tracks, and the voices can sound very robotic. The vocals aren't always great, but some songs are really catchy. It was late at night and I was sitting on the edge of my bed scrolling through Reddit when I heard what sounded like the girl-esque voice from the Vocaloid software. Hatsune Miku singing what sounded like a distorted version of one of my favorite songs. I stopped what I was doing and listened intently. I was alone in my room, and I could have sworn that someone was singing the song in real life. After a few seconds, the music stopped and I thought I must have imagined it. I put on my headphones and returned to Reddit. A few minutes later, the same thing happened and I started to get freaked out. I removed my headphones and loudly said, "Hey Siri, what did you just play?" I remember because at the time I used Siri a lot. She responded, "I'm sorry. I don't know what you're talking about." I thought nothing of it and went back to browsing Reddit. An hour or so later, the same thing happened again. The girl's voice filled the room, followed by silence. Frustrated, I picked up my phone and saw that it was displaying the album art of the song that was playing on repeat. I checked my music app and the app was minimized and not playing anything. When I clicked on the album art, the song began playing normally. I fast-forwarded through the song to see if it was looped in some way, but it was UNA. And even weirder, it jumped straight to the end of the track. After the song ended, the screen went black and I got a notification saying, "Music recognition failed. Turn on, show album art." I knew the album art was enabled already, but I tapped on it anyway. As soon as I did, the screen went completely black and the song began playing again. This time it played to its natural end without skipping ahead. I was freaked out at this point and threw my headphones across the room. I decided to go to sleep, but as I laid in bed, I kept hearing the distorted music. Every time I closed my eyes, it would fill my head and shake my bed. I threw the covers off and sat up. The song was playing loudly from my phone, which was on the other side of the room. I got up and walked over to it. I reached for my phone, but before my fingers could touch the screen, it stopped playing. I pressed the power button and the lock button, but it didn't respond. I plugged it into its charger, but it still didn't work. In the morning after, of course not sleeping at all, I took my phone into Best Buy. They ran diagnostics and said that it was completely fine. It turns out that the phone had somehow entered DFU mode and reset itself multiple times throughout the night. They restored my phone to factory settings and sent me on my way. When I got home, I set everything up and restored my data from my... I still do. You want to know how my phone was able to connect to iTunes and restore itself without my input, since it was UN connected to Wi-Fi, and I definitely didn't press any buttons. That night, I was back in my room listening to my music when I heard the girl's voice again. This time she was speaking in Japanese, which was extremely odd, since none of my Vocaloid music was in that language. I searched the web for the voice samples and found that it was indeed the Japanese version of Hatsune Miku. The audio sample was taken from an editing software called Audacity, which is what I used to make Vocaloid music. I continued searching online and found a forum post from someone who claimed that the song playing was called Tell Your World. To this day, I haven't been able to find a copy of the song. At this point, I was completely freaked out, and I left the apartment to stay with my girlfriend's house. The next morning, I returned home and tried to ignore the events that had transpired the previous night. I still have no idea how my phone managed to restore itself or why it targeted me specifically. I didn't own any other Apple products at the time. I didn't have any family members or friends who work at Apple, and I didn't do any Apple reviews or social media posts. Since then, I've given away my old iPhone and bought a new one. I'm also a lot less paranoid than I used to be. That's one spooky story. I feel like this guy was pretty lucky to be able to fix his phone, so as most people don't have that kind of luck. Sometimes you need to jump through so many hoops to get your phone fixed. So he got off easy. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to check out my podcast. I publish episodes every Friday. You can watch or listen on whatever platform you prefer. Thanks for checking out the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. It's amazing how advanced artificial intelligence has become. Siri has come a long way since it was first released in 2011. Now, the iPhone virtual assistant can learn your speech patterns, recognize faces, and even help you make phone calls. But as AI continues to advance, it's important to remember that it's not perfect. and sometimes it can make mistakes. One Reddit user shared a story about a scary encounter with Siri that left him questioning what was possible. He was just trying to set a timer for cooking when suddenly Siri responded with an unexpected message. Instead of the usual confirmation, Siri sent a chilling warning, "You've already died." This unsettling response raised questions about the potential dangers of it, and whether it was truly capable of learning and adapting beyond its programming. Some users theorized that Siri could have accessed the user's personal data, such as browser history or email, and used it to generate a response based on previous conversations. However, others believed that this was simply a glitch in the system caused by a bug or a misunderstanding of the user's command. Despite the uncertainty surrounding the incident, one thing was clear. People were both fascinated and terrified by the possibility of AI becoming sentient and turning against humanity. The story spread quickly through social media, and soon everyone was sharing their own experiences with Siri and other voice assistants. Some users reported receiving cryptic messages, while others experienced strange behavior from their devices. As the story gained traction, experts weighed in to offer their thoughts on the incident. Some argued that Siri was simply repeating a phrase it had learned from the user's data, while others believed that it was a sign of something more sinister. Ultimately, the truth behind the incident remains unknown, leaving readers to wonder what other secrets lie within the depths of AI. Now it's time to hear from you. What do you think about this story? Let me know in the comments below. And if you want to hear more scary stories like this one, be sure to stay tuned. I post new videos every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.